Marчин Stefanski. I'm working on daily basis for the Polish league since 2005. Until 2005, I used to work for the Polish association, so I know it from both sides. I used to be deputy general secretary for, I think, the youngest one at the age of 27. So I feel that I'm quite experienced, knowing the pros and cons of Polish football. So I can briefly let you give you some explanation how it is working or how we are developing recently, and maybe give you some examples that you could also use in your domestic competition. As I told you, so we are the league responsible only for the top league. The rest is sorry. Can we go back a little bit? Yes. So we are responsible. No.
Is there a problem?
If we can stop here. As you see, we are responsible only for top flight, for the top division, 18 clubs. The rest, all the other competitions, first division, second division, third division, which are centralized competition, and also Cup of Poland belong to the Polish association. When it was established in 2005. We started in 2005. We had the permission from the Ministry of Sport to organize the league, and since then we are trying to develop. We made our first tender procedure. We had the first sponsorship contract 2011, which was T-Mobile Ekstraklasa. Then we established a broadcasting company, which is Ekstraklasa Live. I will talk about it a little bit later. Then we had a new deal with our main broadcaster, Canal Plus. And since that, as you can see, we have the constant growth of the incomes. In 2019, it was 60%. Then during the incomes, during COVID, we didn't lose anything from the contract, and we were able to sign even a bigger deal in 2023. What are we doing on daily basis? We are responsible. What are our goals? Clubs wanted to have the company which would run the competition and would be responsible for first effective sales of media rights and marketing rights. That was that was the main topic. We should have also fine competition, sports competition. People would like to watch it, and that was the second goal. And third, interrupted games. We should have the competition run smoothly, without any problems. That was the goals, and the clubs decided to establish the league as a company. So we have now 18 teams. We are joint stock company. All teams have the equal shares, and Polish FA is the 19th shareholder. It's also shareholder of Ekstraklasa joint stock company. So by the law, we are responsible for running the competition in top flight. It also concerns the other sports. I heard that there are also representatives from the other sports here. So this system works also in the other sports. So if in top flight, you must establish a separate body responsible for running the competition in where you have professional league in sport, in football, and basketball, and so on. Okay, so we have, as the Ekstraklasa, we have Ekstraklasa SA joint stock company, but we also have our Ekstraklasa Foundation responsible for many things, which are responsible for the development of the youth programs, and also we have Ekstraklasa Live Park, our broadcasting company, our jewel in the crown. As a league, we are responsible. We have three departments and one press office. One, match management competition department. In my opinion, this is always the most important because it's about football. But the clubs don't think like this. For them, this one is the most important. Media rights and marketing rights. So we have the group of people still bigger and growing every year, responsible for selling on centralized media, implementation of the contract with sports, so handling the sponsorship and the research analysis and strategy. And of course the finance, organization and finance, the third one, which also This is not only about running the league, but also finding the external funding for this. What is good for us that after 2012 we built in country from lowest division to top division, I think almost 300 stadia. In every league club we have 17 stadia where we can play. I think category 4 we can play even the Champions League games. Only the champion of Poland, the previous champion of Poland, didn't have the stadium. They had to play on different stadium, which is in third division, but also a 50,000-seater stadium. So this is something which helps us a lot. If you travel through Poland, you can see a lot of new stadia. Even for the 4th, 5th division clubs, they have the small 2,000, 3,000 seaters, but very new stadium. This is what is accepted by the public, and also what is very good for us. Recently, since 2012 and later, we were able to build a very new modern facilities with the help of the Ministry of Sports. We have co-financed programs where the clubs invest 20-30% of the money, and the rest is paid by the Ministry of Sports or local governments to help to have the training facilities in a lot of the clubs, even the smaller ones. I'd like to focus on the media rights. As you may see, when we were starting in 2011, our first tender, we had the 25 million average contract. Now we have something about $81 million per year. And what is important, we were able to sell it only by ourselves. We do not pay an agency fee. We have very good internal body which helps us to run the tender. And also what was very important, we were able also to establish our OTT platform, because we are checking how the future may look. So we are able, in any case, anytime, just switch on full online to have our broadcasting, to have our broadcasting programs, because we have our OTT, which is used also to watch our league abroad. We are not the league. We are the only. In fact, we know that we are league for the Polish-speaking countries, which is the only one, Poland. So we cannot sell it like Spanish can do, or Premier League, because it's mainly focused for the people living in Poland. But we see that in many countries we see increase interest where the people would like to watch our league games. You can see. So if our matches can be watched. This is the good map, because can be watched everywhere from any place in the world until 2022, also from Russia and Belarus. But anywhere, if anybody from Poland is somewhere, can just switch on, can watch our games, broadcasted and presented by us. And as I said, this is our jewel in the crown. This is Ekstraklasa Live Park, our broadcasting company, which we established in 2011. It's fully owned by Ekstraklasa. It's fully professional team, which can also produce the external events. We were responsible, and we are very proud of it. I'm always saying this. We're responsible for the production of Super Cup recently in Warsaw, where Real Madrid against Atalanta were playing. And it was top production. It was made by us, by our quite small company, and we are able to deliver top quality. So as you may see, I will do it quite very fast. We have our OB events. We are fully responsible for whole production. We are only responsible from technical side of VAR. We are always also producing this TV studios for Bundesliga, for Premier League studio, for Viaplay, and also Formula One Viaplay. So why I'm talking about, because this is one of the things which helps the league to develop, to grow, to get information from the other sports like Formula One, which is very difficult partner. Yes, so we can learn, and also we can earn the money, which reduce the costs of running the competition, because as it is ours, we can just transfer it to our league and reduce the cost of running the competition from the money earned outside. Why it was created from the beginning? It was created because we have our strict rules. What is most important? We have full control on content. We show the league. Okay, if we could go back to the previous slide, I cannot do it. Can you go back? Okay. Yes, thank you. We have full control over it. So we show no violence. We show no violence. We show, just a moment, no brutality, nothing. We fully control the product, how it looks like. So when we sell the TV rights, all the production is made by us, and the TV which buys it must show it like we want. We showed only the positive aspect of the game. Families, children, VIPs like Marcin Gortat here. Positive support of the fans, players, coaches, emotion, but no aggression. So in our broadcast, you will not see violence. I know the Polish supporters are quite not very easy to manage, but we are able to somehow to show it, and have some impact on the behavior. And also what is important, and I would like to show in a very 1 minute brief film, is that we have a very good proposal for our sponsors. As we are responsible for this is something what we can offer to our main sponsor. For example, you'll have how it looks like. So, watermark of the this is main sponsor, Bank Polski, Polish bank, is right here. Sponsors, branding, full branding, everywhere on Match ID. You may see this one, at the right one. Lower, so before the game we show it like this. We have the other sponsors shown. Social media promotion, you have Ekstraklasa, ORG, and Strauss, main sponsor, one of the main sponsors. If we have temporary events, something like we have the slash na stadionie, it's the tag, during the slow-mo wipe, which is visible 120 times during every match, you can see the sponsors. We have the excellent exposure of Ekstraklasa brand and everywhere, and it's on every game you can see it. It looks like the same. So we deliver what we can promise, and we can assure that what we have in the contract will be shown. Yeah, so at least you can see the competition brand for Rosso sponsors. It's on every game. It looks like this. Okay, so we may go to the next slide, please. Okay. Yes. So we are also, as I said, we are responsible for many events, also for UEFA. And thanks to the other productions, we can have also additional contact for social media. We have also have something extra feed for our OTT. We have also a partnership with Chiron Higo, with Opta Sports, and recently with Panoris company, which you know, because it's full coverage for the coaches. We have our OB vans, and what you can see at the right side is our new, it's still project, but we are building it now, our new studio where it will be production for VAR, for studios, for everything. So before I would end my presentation, I would tell, if somebody was asking, was it worth? Yes, because we can assure bigger incomes, we have better cooperation between the clubs, we are focused on business point of view, not forgetting, of course, about the sport. So we have good cooperation with the Polish FA in it. We have, since the beginning, we have the good division of duties between association and the league. So we decided what we want to do and what we don't want to do. So the FA is not afraid that we would like to take the power of and run the FA. System was established in 2006 and still works. We have what is very important also, good public law on sports, which protects the league to disappear. So Polish FA cannot close the league because it's mandatory by the public law to run the league. We still, of course, have the space for improvement, so we need the bigger role of professional football, where the sport is required. So future looks quite promising, also in UEFA rankings. So finally, before I end, I will just show you on the right slide, and you can, because I was asked to show how the money is divided in between the Polish clubs. So 50% of the incomes, which were more than 80 million euros this year, divided among the clubs, it was 50% equally. 2.5 it was given for the youth development. Historical ranking from last 5 years, it was 14%. And the sports results was 33%, 18% divided by the clubs according to the last season. 14% goes to the clubs who are playing in Europe, and 1% goes to the parachute payment, who's those who are relegated. So I'd like to thank you. Thank you for your presence. Of course, I will be staying here if you have any questions. Of course, individual, I am very open to answer it and give the floor to my colleague, my friend from Slovakia.
Thank you, Marcin. It was fantastic to see how you have managed to create a product very successful, to create the production, and the only thing is to sell the broadcaster rights to the television. To the broadcaster is not the production is your own. You can control it. You can do whatever you want. Fantastic.
We can do it. I think the other problem in Polish league is the sports results. The problem is, of course, the money. So we are not able to keep the players as those players that we would like to keep. Still, they are going abroad. So this is a problem. But from the, I would say, technical and the organizational TV, we are already in, I think, in top 12 for sure in Europe.
Great, really great. Now I'm giving the floor to Michal.
Yeah, thank you.
Please, let's see what you will show us regarding.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, glad to be here. It's really my pleasure. I think we are very close to each other with Bulgarian football in the extent how big Slovakia is and how we approached the way how we do things with professional football and professional football league. Poland is a nice example of a bigger league, bigger size league with 7 times more people living in the country, I guess. It's roughly 35 million, and Slovakia is 5 million people living in the country. So it's a good showcase for us how we want to prove and develop and get better. I think we have learned a lot, especially from the countries around Slovakia, how to do things, and we started our way in 2009 with the League Clubs Union. It is I prepared a really short presentation where I will show you the most important information how the league has been developed, and I will start with the end. It is very important to have things under control. This is the main point where you need to understand if the league is controlling and the clubs are controlling their own product. This is the crucial point. It's not only from the commercial point of view, but from the sports point of view as well. So it makes a lot of sense to discuss, to find a solution, to establish a league, to work together and to find a solution how to promote the product more in deep. We can continue with the presentation. It's working. Yeah. So the second slide. Yeah, so very quickly, the formation 2009, we have, let's say, gone through a longer process as it was in Poland. The process was not easy. In 2009, we started after the meeting of all the owners of the clubs as a separate union, where the owners of the clubs of the first and second league decided to establish a league itself, meaning the company League Clubs Union. At the end, it proved to be a little bit complicated, but because at that time the TV and marketing rights has been managed by the German-based company UFA Sports, which was an external factor, which was not really doing the best job in Slovakia. I can tell you that for 9 years, 9 seasons in a row, we got pretty stagnant revenues from TV and marketing rights, were the same for all 9 years, which was very unusual if you compare it to the other countries. So it was very to be honest, frustrating to everyone. We wanted to make a change. And therefore, in 2014, after a new president was voted for the league, there was a sort of a difficult political situation. It was a time where there was a discussion if even the league will exist or not. After that, we managed to get an agreement with the National Association, and we continued as a league. And we established sort of a longer strategical plan for the league, how to develop the league and what to do in coming seasons. Next. So what were the fundamental changes that we needed to do? You know it very good. You are football people, most of you, I guess. So what is very problematic within football, you have a big concurrence. You really are not only having your concurrence within the market, but you are at the same time competing with Premier League, with La Liga, with all the leagues being shown in the TV. And football is now a whole week product. You are having games from Monday until Sunday. You are having games all the year long. Meaning you need to find something to be more attractive, to attract the people, to attract the fans, to attract the TV, to make the product more interesting for the public. That was what we decided to make as one of the first steps. It was a change of the competition format and then match calendar changes as well. You know it very good from your country as well. In the past, we had quite a long and extensive winter break, which was very problematic. To have 3 months without football makes no sense for no one, for the naming rights partner, for the TV broadcast as well. So we needed to find a way how to balance this, how to prepare the stadia for playing in the winter time as well, and to make the product attractive for the people. So then we decided in 2015-16 to establish a working group after a first attempt, which was not successful, to change the league format. We made an in-depth analysis, and we introduced the new actual model which we are using in Slovakia in the meantime. It's 12 clubs with regular season for 22 rounds, and then split top 6, bottom 6 with additional 10 rounds, and then playoffs. Playoffs for conference league plays, and play out for staying in the competition. I can tell you that this change was very successful because it immediately has driven the value of the TV rights, which was quite a crucial point for us, because at that time we really have sought for more revenues from the competition. Very important were the commercial changes as well. We have established, as Marcin said, almost the same newly company. In 2017, there was another meeting of the club owners where we decided we want to go out from the relationship with the German-based agency, because the best way how to run things is to run it yourself. And I think you know it very good. Within our markets, you know almost everyone. You know all the TVs, you know all the naming rights partners. You don't need anyone to handle the business for yourself. So we get an approval of fundamental point within the discussion, establish own joint stock company, ULK Marketing, which is now owned by all league clubs, and we have a full control of it. I'm the CEO of the company at the same time, so meaning the CEO of the league is the CEO of the joint stock company as well. Next slide, please. Crucial points, as I said already, establishment of own company. Then from my point of view, it's very important to have this sort of understanding that centralization and mutual control makes sense for everyone. I understand clubs want to have control of sort of day things within the club, sports part, everything, but at the end, I will showcase on other points that it is very important that decentralization makes a lot of sense for driving the success of the league and of the clubs at the same time as well. We get a control of commercial activities, which were under league and club, and greater emphasis on the results. So once you are responsible, you get a greater emphasis from your owners. They want to get results. So this is something that we hear every meeting. We want more, we want more, we want more, and this is good because we are there as a management to drive the league to get more revenues, to bring the football within better financial condition. We have stabilized the communication and cooperation with Slovak National Association, renewed the contracts gradually, And we were quite successful within international activity of the league. We became, in 2020, ordinary member of European leagues, and in 2024, myself, I'm just now a member of European leagues of board of directors, meaning I was successful within the vote in European leagues. Next slide, please. So from the commercial activities, very quickly, for the TV broadcaster, we got a very bad situation when we came to the league. There was no interest into football, to pay for football to be in the TV. There was even a press conference of all clubs saying there will be no football in TV in that case. You don't want to pay for football. I can tell you that was in 2015. In 2021, we got 5 bidders within the tender process. Meaning after 6 seasons, you see how it changed within having the product under control and making the management working on a proper level. In the tender in 21, the winner was Markiza Slovakia Group, and I can just say a rough number. We got 4 times more higher revenues from if we compare it to the last cycle. So meaning you get a huge amount of money out of the market that were there, but you didn't got it because of the mismanagement of running the things. Main part of the revenues, which is what Martin said, and this is very important for the future, was the streaming platform Voya, which is part of the deal. And I think this is very crucial part because it's a new way of live sports consumption. For the naming rights partner, we got a long cooperation with Fortuna, which is a betting company. In 2022, we had a tender with multiple bidders as well. So after a long time, we got a huge interest into becoming a naming rights sponsor. And the new one is called Nike, which is the name of the league now, Nike Liga. And the revenues after the last tender process were 5 times higher from the market. So you see, like with the management, having it under control as a league, how you can really drive the market to bid and to get more out of the market. For the international cooperation, very important for us, fast betting data deal, which we have together with 19 European leagues within European leagues together. The revenues were higher with a number that you cannot really imagine, 30 times more, which is quite a huge number for us. Next slide, please. This is for you, just to understand the developments. You don't see the full period. We started in 2018 with having our company, which was the total revenues of the league, which were constantly the same from 2009, were 800,086.621 euro per all the league per season. So somewhere here when we started. Now you see in 2023, this is the latest result. It's only from the ULK marketing, not from the League Clubs Union. It's over 10 million. So altogether, the revenues have been like almost 10 times more, or even more. We can continue. Thank you. What are another key projects that we want to drive and we discuss internally? One of them was touched by Marcin as well, is Sporting Growth. What we feel is very important to get in ownership of the data, of the sports data. We want to really have the under control historical data and the data that we are now getting from our partners. As of this season, we are working on an old data platform, which will be a single sign-on platform. Is used for the sports department of the clubs, with the coaches, with the technical staff, and everyone in the club that is working with the sports data. And they see all the outputs from Stats Perform, which are sports event data, which is Opta. They see Catapult data, which are GPS data from all the time during the process, from training until the game. And then from Panoris, which is a video analytical tool that is now available for every club in Slovakia. We have all stadia covered, and they are using it for the video analysis, and they get the clips automatically within the data platform. What is important is the cooperation with the Slovak Football Association as well. We want to share the information to promote the players, get the players from the league into the national teams. Most of the players, I guess in Bulgaria is the same. We have almost 80% of the under 21 national players from the league. So it makes a lot of sense to really have the information about the guys, how they do in the league, how they are developing, so that the coaches within the national teams, under 19, under 21, can work more with the players, and we rise their value as well. For the commercial growth, very important point, Marcin said it, I just say it one more time, control your own outputs. This is very important. We have the deep production under control as well. We don't have a company like Polish guys have, because we are not that wealthy. However, we are having one company which we cooperate with, and we define the quality of the outputs, we define how we produce what we do. So this is something that we have under control. The same, we don't want to show any violence, we don't want to show any medical problems on the pitch. I can tell you we had a problem on the pitch where one player was, after hitting his head, we suppose in a concussion protocol, and he was lying on the pitch, and there was no image on the TV, because we don't want to show something like this to the TV. We don't want to promote bad things, we want to show positive things from football. So this is something that you saw in our video as well at the start, that how you show the product, then the product is perceived by the fans and by the public. So we specify the production standards and control over the quality. We have implemented centralized VAR solution. Now all the games are covered by VAR, which is done by the league as well. And at the end, I can tell you that we have centralized the UCC qualifiers rights from all clubs as well. What we get was a revenue growth of 10 times higher from the centralized rights. Well, this is it.
Thank you. Thank you both of you for the presentation, and I know that this was the shorter ones. So I have a couple of questions. Normally I will start maybe with one very important question related to the responsibilities divided between the federation and the league. Marcin, you mentioned that you have very good relations between the federation and the league. I hope that also is in the Slovak, but can you give us some examples about the division of the functions?
Okay. We have a rule in Acton Sport. This is public rule that if you have the league in top flight, you must have your own company. So Polish FA or any other association in any sport cannot say no. So it was established, but also the same Acton Sport says that the league should be responsible only for limited things. So it's also protection for the association from the beginning, that only the association can be responsible for the final disciplinary decisions, for the international things and for the referees, for example. So it was clear stated from the beginning, and of course some of the things are decided by the, I would say, sports law, by FIFA and UEFA regulations. For example, we still don't want to have the licensing. The Polish FA does it because also the clubs didn't want to decide on themselves. Of course, some of them would like to do it, but for the good of the game, it should be done outside. And the system, I think works. I can see it because despite many criticism, because people say, okay, please exclude that club, is throw away out of the competition, that club. No, but we say that the licensing is not for killing the clubs, but for the constant development. So this is why we have now better coaches, we have the better training facilities. Clubs, in fact, are paying on time, which is very important. We did not exclude the club from the top division. I'm talking about the top division in the last 12, 14 years, which is, I think, it shows that the system works finally. Everybody gets the money, so this is good. This is a good example, and I can only. But it requires good acting of the league, of the clubs, of the association, and wise policy of the Ministry of Sports. In fact,
it's the same case in Nika Liga.
Yeah, it's almost the same. in fact, we don't want to have a control over refereeing, licensing, and disciplinary, because these is things that you need to really have an independent body, which is at the end making the decisions. However, what I can tell you, and what was very important, we established a zero tolerance for any sort of respect for making changes if there was a decision made by the competent body, meaning if the licensing body is saying there is no license, we fully support. So meaning we don't any expulsion or something that as a league we can say no, the club is going to play nowhere, because this is the end of the business. We are on the same board. We want to bring the league further as well, and I think the clubs understand at the end as well. I can tell you we had a meeting yesterday of the EXCO, and there was quite a huge discussion on the media outputs from the coaches after the games towards the referees, because there was a lot of discussion about the quality of refereeing and everything, and everyone in the room said we're going to stop this because otherwise it's going to damage our product. So everybody is now understanding any external factor that we are giving to the public is making our position not that strong as we would like to. So this is very important. So having refereeing, licensing and disciplinary out of the control of the league, but still being part of the discussion. So overviewing the whole picture makes sense, but we never go against the decisions of the National Association in this respect.
Yes, I understand. An issue that we often have here and that we face is the match calendar. I imagine that probably you had or you have same issue. Can you show us how do you deal with this?
I can tell you one thing.
We use that system.
We use burger system.
Burger system, exactly.
What I can say is skip it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's disaster.
Fully agree.
Don't do it. It's Polish FA does it still and has got a lot of problems in lower divisions because of this. But I personally hate it. We use the different product. But before I go into a little bit into details, I would say if you listen, we have a lot of quite the same answers together. Why? Because one of the reasons is that a lot of leagues are working together. We are, especially on the European Leagues Association. This is a body where we could cooperate and exchange a lot of discussions. Also on calendar, because on calendar issues, I think the problems are the same in same everywhere. It's difficult. We are working very closely with the clubs. How it works, I will give you the example very briefly. That before the season, when I'm responsible for this, so I can tell you 3 hours, and you will fall asleep very quickly. And before the season, we ask the clubs for their request. We have every year 60 requests. Somebody would like to play home away because they have concerts, marathons, and so on. So we put it into the system. And finally, we had a version where every request is okay for every, so we can fulfill it. We also we have that agreement with the clubs that we are supporting those close links in Europe, so they can have some kind of extra requests. Play, for example, at game number 3 at home, or number 4 not go very far. With Poland is quite huge, so the biggest distance is 900 kilometers from one club to the other. So during the qualifiers, for example, we would like to avoid such long trips, and it's fully accepted by the clubs. Clubs know the rules. Clubs know the draft of the calendar quite early. They can have some inputs. From my perspective, I don't see any problems, and the cooperation between the clubs and also for the FA looks very good. As a good example of cooperation with the FA, I can say that we found that because of the UEFA calendar, which is huge, and we have this lower numbers of free dates, we decided that our 4 clubs which are playing in Europe are starting one round later in the domestic cup. In that round, we can use for the postponed games, and then we decide that that round where the clubs can postpone the game, those 4 clubs are playing against each other. So we are not harming the cup. They can still play the other games, and my club can still have a free date to play those postponed games without any problems. This is one of the good examples how we are working on daily basis with the FA, with the clubs, and the system. From my opinion, I can say it works really well.
I will ask you for the contact details after the panel. Other topic which is very widely discussed here in Bulgaria is the presence of the foreign players. So the only restriction that we have in Bulgaria is a limit of no more than 5 foreign players out of European Union, and no restriction related to the players from European Union, and no regulations regarding the Bulgarian players. So there is a discussion because mostly the bigger clubs prefer to play with foreign, more experienced players. But now we see that even the smaller clubs prefer to play with more experienced foreigner players with European passport, let's say like that. And this probably damaged the national team and the young Bulgarian players. Do you have the same issue, and how do you deal with this problem?
We do have the same approach like here in Bulgaria, I would say.
Guys, this is last minute in discussion,
Okay.
but I give you 6 minute additional time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think the topic is very important for all clubs here and for our young talents.
I think we have the same approaches in Bulgaria regarding the foreign players, but I can tell you that as we look as a league on it, I think the different approaches in Poland, which we have looked into as well, is more of an sort of a positive motivation to clubs to work more with the local players. So we are just now working with the National Association on 2 important projects. One project is sort of centralized on the academies, where we want to drive more revenues for the academies, working more with the national, locally based players, and bringing them into the first league. So meaning they get more money from the National Association for development of the players, which is positive motivation. On the other part, as a league, we want to really promote this via second teams, which are going to be placed directly into the third league as the lowest level. We have now 2 teams playing with their second teams within the second league, Slovan and Žilina. So to bring more playing time to the young players which are being developed within the academies. So our, let's say, point is we don't want to stop any externals coming into the Slovakian market if it is a quality players, because it makes it much more sense to make it competitive for the guys. If they want to play for the first team, they need to have the quality to play for the first team. So to have a good concurrence within the international market is fine. However, we want to support the clubs and have a positive sort of motivation for them to work with the Slovakian players and to have them in the system. So this is the way how we see it. I don't think we're gonna change somehow the rules towards the international players. Because in the meantime it's quite a very open topic with this Diarra case and everything what is going on in the world of football.
And one thing what I would like to add that we have in Poland rule, which is criticized, and it's still, because it's quite new, it's still not decided if it's good or bad. We have it's mandatory to play with one Polish player which is under 21.
Mandatory in the Ekstraklasa.
Yes, in Ekstraklasa, in the first and second division the same. But how the system works, you cannot play without it. But if your club during the season plays less than 3,000 minutes with under 21 Polish play, pays fine. And maximum fine was last year the club paid 750,000 euros. So it's costs. So if you know how much you can with that money, if you would like to save the money, so you can just get the player good and pay him even a little bit more just to avoid the penalty. But the system is quite controversial. Clubs don't like it because the coaches especially don't like it because they don't like to be forced to play with some of the players. But we will see. And also we promote the clubs playing with youth. We have a system combined with Polish FA. and the system, the Polish FA pays 1 million euros, we pay 1.5 million euros together for those clubs who have the most minutes of Polish player on the field. So we have top 7 clubs, they get extra money from this. This is also co-financed by us and by the FA.
Okay. Now I would like to give the floor to our audience, the public.
You can tell them, it's interesting.
Please.
Hello, my name is Biser Mechanjski. First of all, thank you for your presentation. Thank you, Mr. Gionov, to be our moderator. My question is, seeing that most of the guests are club representatives here in Bulgaria, and question is the following. We have heard how the league was formed, how the league was launched, but could you please explain the role of the clubs, specifically about the minimum requirements they had to meet, such as creating departments or hiring new staff to deal with the newly formed league. I'm not sure if you are aware, but most of the clubs here in Bulgaria are facing shortage of personnel. Most of them have one person who is in charge of several roles. So could you please share your recommendation regarding these topics? Thank you.
Yeah. This is the same problem in Slovakia, I would say. We are similar from the number of people living in the country, similar of the potential of the country as well. So having in the clubs more than one person who is really working within the club on the topics is not easy. The answer to your question is it is in process. So meaning we started in 2016 to build something, and we knew about the problems that we have with the clubs. At the start, we were not able to get from more of the clubs any information that we needed, nor a video for marketing activity within the league, nor a communication that we needed for them. After 3 years, we have established a culture that every club is having one person who is responsible for PR marketing within the club. Now we are working on a project where the clubs have one person, which is the educational program, which is run by the league. We support it. We have paid an external company which prepared a one-season educational program for the club representatives, and they can, but they at the same time have to do it. So every club has to have one person who is going to go through this educational program. We now are working on a program for sports directors as well, meaning not to only focus on marketing and PR, but now want to focus on sporting part as well, because you want to, we understand the shortage of the people, and we need to make sure that the people understand maybe a broader picture from football. Because if you have one person, he needs to understand how to communicate with the fans, how to communicate with the sponsors, how to communicate with the press. If he's only the one person. Normally, in a bigger club, you have 3, 5, 4 person to manage the things. In our case, we need to have one person who is skilled and knows all the topics and can maybe do the most he can. I can admit that you still are challenged by the problems, but it's much better than it was in the past, for sure. So it's an process, and the league is like driving the clubs to be more competitive, because in our case the revenues at the same time are divided on an performance level as well. So we are giving 30% of the revenues to the clubs on the level how they do with the fans and how they do with the TV viewership numbers. So they get 35% of the budget out of their activity. So they are driven by the fact they want to receive the money at the end, you know.
Fully agree.
I think that we have to finish here because we are running out of time. Vasily, no more questions?
No more.
Okay, so I want to extend my big thank you to our panelists for sharing their knowledge and experience with us. And we are grateful for your openness and willingness to contribute to this dialogue. Thank you very much, and